Osun State's Ministry of Health has incorporated indigenous sons and daughters who are medical practitioners based in diaspora to its medical mission outreach scheme. The State Commissioner of Health, Dr. Rafiu Isamotu, says the medical mission outreach is to improve healthcare delivery to beef up the medical demands of the people. The medical scheme, which is set to be worth $1 million, is targeted at those who are financially challenged. These are the people of Odelmu community in Osun State. They eagerly await a free medical service from an indigenous team of medics from the United States of America. The medical team comprises of 100 personnel from different specializations, and they are expected to cater for over 30,000 beneficiaries in places like Ile-Ife, Iwo, Ido and Odelmu for a period of 6 days.
We believe this has actually helped the government. As I always mention it in different fora, government alone cannot do it all in health. So we need people that could, that can come around and partner with us and help us. We've been blessed to have some partners helping us in the state.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude for the intervention program offered by the state government.
It's so well organized. It's not rowdy. When you see things that have been organized, you know.
I really appreciate what the government has made for people that have healing and some different problems. I really appreciate it because it's very good to be in good condition. So,
we see that there's a need, and we see that, nothing is moving as far as, the healthcare. And so if we have the talent and we have the ability and the resources to help, we will do just that.
The number of people tripping in for this service is an eloquent testimony of a well-thought-out and people-driven initiative. But more trust can be built in the people if the project is sustained. Our community report this evening takes us to Billiri local government area of Gombe State, where a 4-year-old girl has been allegedly raped by a neighbor. While the police boss in the state claims some arrests have been made, the parents of the allegedly raped victim suffers the loss of their property.
These buildings bear the mark of angry youth in Tanglang community in Billiri local government area of Gombe State after a case of an alleged rape of a 4-year-old girl was reported. The family of the victim had lived here for almost a decade until this dastardly act was allegedly carried out by one Sham Sunday who lives in the neighborhood.
March 19th, so around 6:30, my wife, she called me that there was a boy, his name is Shame Sunday, the son of pastor, that she caught her on top of my daughter, raping my daughter.
While the police investigating the case paid a visit to the locality, according to the district head, the youth, acting on false information that no rape was committed against the 4-year-old, attacked the police team.
An unqualified woman allegedly tested the little girl and claimed also that there was no such thing. This was a woman who was not competent, who was not qualified to carry out any test as to determine what has happened to the little girl.
There's a forest here where those youth used to gather and smoke, take all sorts of egbon and other things, all these bad drugs. Small thing, you just see them. They are protesting.
The rampaging youth were said to have destroyed the shop of the father of the little girl, as well as those of his elder brother, who lives in Tar community just 2 kilometers away from Tanglang. While expressing shock at the incident, the leadership of both the Igbo and Tanglang communities want to see justice done in this case.
let the law take its course, is what I'm pleading to the government.
For now, the victims of the violent protest, who no longer have roof over their heads after their houses and shops were razed, have now been relocated to a much safer place pending the outcome of investigation.
We are going around now begging people to help us so that they can at least see something to eat. They can't go anywhere now because the police, they still want them. There's nothing they can do. They are not working.
The alleged rape of this 4-year-old and the reason for the subsequent protest are unfortunate incidents which only paint a picture for dark society where innocence is brazenly stolen from the helpless. The concerned authorities must now do all within its power to rewrite the wrongs by punishing this injustice.
And Channels Television will continue to follow that story and bring you developments. Well, let's take you now to the ancient city of Kano in northern Nigeria. It is a center of commercial activities where people do business from within and outside the country. One of such markets is the Kasuwan Kurumi market, arguably the oldest located in the heart of Kano's municipal. It is said to have been in existence since the 15th century. The market, however, seems to have lost its international reputation as traders lament slow business activities and neglect from government.
The sights of traditional items, shops and bad road network greets you at the one-time popular Kasuwan Kurumi market, which has many entrances without a single signage. The market, said to be the oldest traditional market in Kano State, used to play host to visitors from within and outside Africa. Culture and tradition is what sets the market apart as a tourist destination and selling point for locally woven materials, sculptures, carved stones, cowhide and leather works. Creative arts is seen at its best. The abandoned state of the market, which has become a shadow of itself, leaves much to be desired, as most traders seen at the market are old men and women. According to them, business is very poor, but they believe tradition should be preserved.
These are the African art and culture. So we inherit it from our forefathers. But now most of our people now they neglect it because most now people they don't interest in it because of two sins or more than two sins. Because the government does not support or give an effort to do it. Therefore, our children now, they are run away from it.
This is a place where people from America, from England, from Russia, from Canada, all over the world, they used to come here and buy this type of clothes.
Security and modernization are the opinion of others on why the market has remained in a dilapidated state.
There is lack of security. People from outside the country or other, they are fearing because they are thinking if they come, something can happen to them. But even some, once they come, they have the history of Kano State. They are appealing government to give them their escort.
The government's commitments to revive the Kasuwan Kurumi market is the call of the traders, or else extinction will become inevitable.
This is traditional business. Many of the youngest that are living now, they can see something that is modern. So, and in all the times when you are growing people, they cannot use these sort of traditional things, even in their home. So that's why they are not engaged into this sort of business.
Traders at the market are desperately calling out to the state and federal government to not only upgrade the market and restore its one-time famous status, but also make it attractive for investors to come and revive its commercial activities while maintaining its cultural heritage, providing jobs for its teeming unemployed youths, improving the tourism sector, and hence boost the Nigerian economy.
A lot of attention in recent times has been drawn to sugarcane farming and sugar production in Nigeria as the country moves towards achieving self-sufficiency in the production of sugar. In March this year, President Buhari inaugurated a 500 billion naira sugar mill in Niger State. Other states have also signed multi-million-dollar MOU for the establishment of sugar refineries. Bauchi State is one of them, and the state government has proposed the establishment of a $200 million sugar milling plant and refinery.
It's a market day in Gaji town of Alkaleri local government area, Bauchi State. Sugarcane is a major item sold in this market. This is because sugarcane farming is the major preoccupation of the people from this community. Trailers like this one loads sugarcane from plantations to Biu, Baga and Maiduguri in Borno State, and sometimes to Cameroon. Many from this town have made a fortune from sugarcane, but the business is not without losses. This is what is left of Alhaji Abdullahi Isa's farm after it was razed by fire earlier this year. He says the farm was valued at 8 million naira before the incident. Sugarcane business thrived in this community before the insurgency, but now these farmers complain of low patronage.
Due to this friction that occur, so no way for transacting this business. So due to that, definitely it affects us, we farmers. So 3 years ago, a farm that you're supposed to sell it at the rate of 1 million, so you're going to sell it 300,000, 200,000. From there, the effort of sugarcane farming being come out from the mind of our people.
Dillalanmu da muka yi harkan da su, bara wanda suka zo nan muka yi ta yi da su, bana kaɗan ne suka zo daga cikin wanda muka yi da su. Saboda ka sakamakon rashin kasuwa na raken. Har ma waɗansu suna shawarin kamar za su koma noman masara ne. Saboda raken nan an yi ta saya da kuɗi, an kuma nome bai yi kasuwa ba.
The Bauchi state government says it is aware of the economic potentials in the sector, which is why it has proposed the establishment of a sugar milling plant and refinery in the state.
We are looking as a government for them to continue what they are doing. We're presently trying to engage the technical know-how by getting a qualified, credible, and one that has a track record, investor that would come and add value to the entire process. So that, because by that we can be able to get a lot of things. One, the technical know-how, usage, getting the improved yield, improved seeds for the sugarcane development itself.
Nigeria is the second largest consumer of sugar in Africa and currently has the largest sugar refining plant in Africa. Perhaps industries need to widen their scope to the local markets as the country moves towards sugar self-sufficiency.
Government at all levels should endeavour to develop primary health care and make it more accessible for citizens, especially in rural areas. Well, this was part of views expressed by healthcare practitioners in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, during a training sponsored by Nestle Nutrition Institute Africa for healthcare providers as part of activities marking the 2018 World Health Day celebration.
Malnutrition affects the mental and physical development of children. About 74.1% of malnourished children, being those deprived of exclusive breastfeeding. Malnutrition accounts for about 40% of cases of under 5 morbidity and mortality recorded yearly in Nigeria. In order to increase awareness and address the gaps in the healthcare delivery, Nestle Nutrition Institute Africa is organizing training for nurses, caregivers and nutritionists to equip them with the requisite knowledge on assessment and management of malnutrition among children.
NNI is committed in furthering the knowledge of science and nutrition education of healthcare practitioners, as well as to bridge the gap between the science and the practical application of good nutrition.
Participants are taken through the various areas of assessment and management of malnutrition as they promise to make sure the knowledge gained reflects in their respective hospitals.
We've been taught about the causes, the management, the prevention, and so on and so forth. So with this knowledge, more of us will be educated. We've been educated, so that one will make us to extend the training to others that are not here.
Inclusive breastfeeding is very, very important as it contains all the nutrients the child needs. So those are the things I've learned, and I think with that, as a nurse, I'll be able to go back to my facility to educate mothers.
The Ogun State Commissioner for Health commends the training initiative by Nestle and encourages other development partners to emulate the gesture.
Let me once again thank Nestle Nutrition Institute Africa for the partnership provided so far in the area of capacity development of our care providers.
Health experts say efforts geared towards improving nutrition and the health sector, especially in rural areas, will yield results faster when matched with the political will to reducing poverty. This is what collaborations like this between the Ogun State government and Nestle seeks to achieve.
Still ahead on the news at 10, it's a shocker as MFMFC suffered defeat to visit Malian club side Joliba in the first leg of the CAF Confederation Cup playoff clash. That's in sports news. Please stay with us.